On the 10th of October 2002, the African sun rose over the hills of a small town in Limpopo. It was a beautiful morning. Mandla and Lillian Mativa started the day by working in their vegetable garden. The children helped too. The garden was the pride of the family. It provided fresh vegetables for daily meals and enough mealies and mangoes to sell at the town market. On the radio, they heard an important announcement. Parliament had passed the Mineral and Petroleum Resources Development Act. This meant that South Africa's mineral wealth would be mined for the benefit of all. The Mativa family was not sure what this would mean for the future of their town. As the years went by, the town started to change. Rumors circulated of a new mine being built in the area. The town was abuzz with hopes of jobs and prosperity. One morning, Lillian went to water the garden and discovered that the water was filthy and unusable. She spoke to her neighbors and found out that their borehole was dry. Many new people arrived, hoping to find jobs. Though few were employed on the mine, the town became overcrowded. Queues began to snake around local markets and clinics. Soon, the roads became clogged with noisy trucks exuding fumes. There was now a fenced-off mining site on the land once open to the townspeople. The whole community was being affected. What is going on? How will we feed our families and pay our bills? The Mativas and their neighbors called for a community meeting. Mandla mentioned that he had heard of a law clinic that gives legal advice to communities affected by mining. This law clinic was invited to the meeting. At the meeting, the law clinic gave the following presentation to the community. They spoke about their rights under the Constitution, mining and environmental laws, and the rules mining companies needed to comply with in order to mine. The Constitution is the highest law of the land, and Section 24 guarantees everyone's right to an environment that isn't harmful to their health or well-being. The state is required to protect the present and future generations' right to a healthy environment. Parliament has taken steps and passed a number of laws which require mining companies to obtain licenses before any minerals can be mined. If a mining company does not have all its licenses, it is breaking the law. The most important piece of environmental legislation is the National Environmental Management Act, or NEMA. NEMA requires the Minister of Environment to make lists of activities that can cause serious harm to the environment. The permission of the Department of Environmental Affairs must be obtained before any work is done. The main law governing how mining takes place is the Mineral and Petroleum Resources Development Act, or MPRDA. The MPRDA says that South Africa's mineral wealth belongs to all South Africans, and the state must make sure it is used for the benefit of all. To make sure mining occurs in a manner that benefits all, the Act requires mining companies to have a license to carry out any mining activities. A mining right is required to mine minerals out of the ground. Mining rights can only be issued if 3 documents are in order: Environmental Impact Assessment, or EIA, and Environmental Management Program, or EMP, which are part of the same process, Mining Works Program, and Social and Labor Plan, or SLP. The purpose of the EIA is to predict all the environmental harms that might result from mining and decide whether they outweigh the economic benefits. It requires accurate studies to be done by specialists on all aspects of the local environment, for example, air and water quality assessments. The EMP shows how the mining company will make sure that all damages to the environment are kept to a minimum. The Mining Works program has all the details of how and where mining takes place. The Social and Labor Plan, or SLP, contains commitments by the mining company in respect of local economic development and job creation. Finally, mining cannot start without a water use license. Mining processes use a lot of water. This means there might not be enough water available to the community or other users. Mining is therefore also governed by the National Water Act, or NWA, which lists a number of water uses requiring a license. In each case, there are conditions that must be met before a license is issued. These include consultation with the people affected, completion of thorough environmental studies, ensuring that the mine will not result in unacceptable pollution or other environmental harm. If you feel that a mining company's license was awarded without meeting these conditions, you can apply to get the license reversed. The Constitution's vision of democracy entitles all of us to actively participate in decisions that affect us. For this reason, a mining company has to publicly consult all affected people before it qualifies for a mining right or an environmental authorization. The mining company must provide a real opportunity for the community to take part and make their voices heard. For participation to be meaningful, it must meet the following conditions. The notice must be adequate. The venue for public consultations must be easily accessible to the community. The community must be given understandable and accurate information. Community members must be given a real chance to present their views. Community concerns must be taken seriously in the decision-making process. The community must be told of the decision and the reasons for the decision. Following this presentation, the community complained that no one from the mining company had ever discussed the mining right application or the environmental impacts with them. The mining company did not comply with the public participation requirements under the MPRDA and NEMA. They also found out from the DWA that it had never issued a water use license. But how can we use this information? The community then had to decide what action to take. Although there were promises of jobs on the mine, it was not clear whether these jobs would go to local people and for how long they would last. The community elected a committee which in writing asked the law clinic to represent them in an appeal to the Minister of Mineral Resources against the mining right. They also asked the law clinic to assist them in getting the Department of Water Affairs to investigate and take action against the mining company. The community has now begun a legal process within the Department of Mineral Resources. If the community is unsuccessful, they can approach the High Court for relief. Should the court find that any of the conditions for issuing the mining right were not met, it would overturn the license. This would mean that the mining company would have to reapply for the license. Though this route is not a quick one, and success is uncertain, it is one of several options through which the community can pursue justice. Regardless of the position of the community on mining, the more unified it is, the greater the prospects of success. As South Africans, we have rights which deserve to be protected and enforced. When mining harms our air, water, land, and our lives, we have a right to speak out and be heard. We are stronger together.